welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video I'm taking you with me while I travel around Vaduz in Liechtenstein. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So I just wanted to start this video by apologising for the fact that there is no Vienna vlog. I have a good explanation for this. So obviously I have just been in Vienna, and unfortunately while I was in Vienna I had a sort of travel emergency, which meant that I actually had to leave Vienna earlier than I'd planned. So I did film about half of the vlog, but unfortunately I don't really have enough footage, and the footage I have isn't really good enough for it to warrant a vlog. And I didn't want to sort of make like a subpar Vienna vlog and release it, because that just doesn't do justice to how much I enjoyed Vienna. So I do want to go back to Vienna, and maybe the Vienna vlog is something for the future, but for now, apologies about that, but let's go and enjoy Vaduz. Okay, so this is actually a really peaceful place. I arrived here last night. The mountains are amazing. I'll show you those in a minute, but there is a museum that I'm going to go to, for real this time, not like the one in Warsaw that I skipped, and also we are just going to go look around the town, because it's basically in sort of the middle of like the mountains, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So let's go. Just look at the way the clouds are on those mountains. I just woke up this morning and I just looked out the window and I saw that, and I mean, if that doesn't make you think, damn, then I don't really know what to tell you. So I've now made it to central Vaduz, and I just wanted to show you a couple of the landmarks before we move on to the museum. So this is the Rathaus, or the town hall. It's got some very cute little painted shutters up there, and then up there above it on the hillside, that is Vaduz Castle. Now that was the original sort of residence of the Prince of Liechtenstein, and actually Vaduz Castle was called Vaduz Castle before Vaduz was called Vaduz. Does that make sense? So like the city was named after the castle. Anyway, it's all the way up there on the hill, and the town hall is here, and we are going to look at a museum. There's a front view of the Rathaus, which I think is kind of more impressive from this angle. And they got a casino here as well. Fun fact, they've also got a place to buy Rolex watches for some reason. So here we are, this is the Vaduz Post Museum. It's all about the history of like the postal service. So this museum is kind of about telling the story of Liechtenstein and Vaduz in particular through like the stamps and postal images of the time. And they've also got these little information plaques about, this one's about Vaduz Castle, but there's a bunch of other ones around here. They've got watercolour paintings of the castle, very cool, in different seasons, also very cool. This is about Gutenberg Castle, and yeah, there's all over here. There's also a sort of little library section, and this is a postman's bike that would be traditionally used to deliver post. Very cool. So over here they're commemorating all the stamps, and they made the point that obviously a stamp does serve a sort of practical function because it shows that the postage has been paid, but it's also a real key into the sort of culture of the region in which it's produced. So you can see they've got some sort of sporting ones up here, and scientific ones, and so you've got a sort of collection that kind of collectively tells the story. That sense it makes sense. This kind of collectively tells the story of the area. So here you can actually explore the whole collection. This is actually the culture section. They've digitised all of these stamps. So for example, this one's homage to Liechtenstein, and then you can go through and there's a bunch of different categories. So if I go back, you can see there's a bunch of different categories. I just looked at the culture one because that was the most interesting, but if we also look at nature and landscape, then you can see some of the sort of the plants, the scenery. It's really quite insightful into what people considered important enough to put on the stamp. The Postal Museum was actually fascinating. I hadn't realised how important the postal system and just like the creation of stamps were in sort of helping Liechtenstein develop as a state. So yeah, that was fascinating. But I just also wanted to highlight how many like sort of sculptures and statues there are. Look at this. So that's the castle. That is more of a sculpture. And then back here we got this big bronze hand that I just walked past. Like this area is just full of statues. And again, more sculptures. Down here as well, and over there's that thing. I'm not sure what that is. I actually want to go have a closer look. So this is the main square in Vaduz, and over here we've got this little quote: "Die oberste Aufgabe des Staates ist die Förderung der gesamten Volkswohlfahrt." So that basically means the highest purpose or task of the state is the promotion of the people's collective well-being. Fair enough, you know? So this statue is called Dualität or duality, and it's kind of, I think it's supposed to represent, I've been listening to the tour guide a little bit, I think it's supposed to represent like two sides of the world or something, you know, it's supposed to stand in the middle and it's supposed to give you perspective, I think, I'm not sure. Anyway, over here is a car with legs. This is Liechtenstein Cathedral, and it is 12 o'clock. And next to it, this is the government building of Liechtenstein. I'm going to have to stand back a little bit so you can see, but it's got flags on the outside, kind of a crest up there, and kind of back here we can see all of the statues again. I think it's cool how the government building is right next to the main cathedral. That's cool. So my time in Liechtenstein is rapidly coming to an end, and I just wanted to like close with some reflections on like my visit and stuff. So I was hugely impressed. Like, it's so peaceful here, and I love the mountains. 10 out of 10. Like, the surroundings are absolutely gorgeous and you have to see them. Something else that I noticed about the town is that it's extremely clean. Like, it's probably the cleanest place I've been on this entire trip. Like, it's amazing. It's so well run. I didn't see a single piece of litter. I honestly think we've got some lessons to learn, because this is like one of the cleanest cities I've ever been to. And yeah, it was really, really small, really quiet, but it was quite lively once you got into the city centre, so I really liked that. I like the contrast between, you can walk a relatively short distance and it goes from being like quiet to busy. I like that. And also just the history was so interesting. Like, I loved the Postal Museum. I'm a huge nerd, but I really love the Postal Museum and learning about all the stamps and the history. So yeah, 10 out of 10, recommend it. Whether you're like into art, history, nature, culture in general, and everyone was like so friendly, so I loved it. I felt really super safe here. I recommend it. Anyway, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in Geneva. Okay, bye!